Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Nursery to Varsity. In the previous tutorial, we have learned 5 programs based on the IfElse statement, but we have talked about the need of the nested IfElse statement in the previous programs. So, for today's tutorial, we are going to learn about nested IfElse and about conditional operators too. Nested IfElse. Generally, nested IfElse implies that we can construct an entire IfElse block in either the body of the if statement or the body of an else statement, and this is called nesting. Let's understand what I'm trying to say, that this is a if body and this is the else body. So if we want to construct another if else block in the body of the else, we can do this, and this is what we call nesting. Okay? For example, in the previous program, to check whether the age is eligible for voting or not, we assume that the user will not input the negative number, but if he or she is unaware and inputs a negative number, so we have to deal with that situation too. And there we need nested if else. If you haven't seen my previous video, first go and see few programs on if else so that you can understand this concept easily. Now, before moving to the program, let's understand the syntax or form of the nested if else. In the first syntax, we are constructing an entire if else in the body of the if statement, and in the second syntax, we are constructing an entire if else in the body of the else statement. Now let's see how will this statement executed. If the condition is found to be true, then only it will enter this if block. Otherwise, if the condition found to be false, it will move to the else block. And if this condition is true, then only it will check this if condition. Again, if this if condition is true, it will execute this statement. Else, if it found to be true, false, it will execute this statement. Okay? So this is how this whole sequence will work. So let's understand this with the same program which we have discussed. Write a program to check whether the age is eligible for vote or not. Now in this program, in the previous tutorial, we have assumed that the user will not input the negative number. So we did not deal with that case. But in this program, if we are not assuming that the user will not input the negative number, then our first condition should only that age should be greater than 0. Okay, else printf enter an invalid age. Okay, and then in this body of the if block, we construct our if else statement to check whether the age is eligible for voting or not. So let's copy and paste it over here, and that's it. So let's build and execute it. Enter your age. So let's input a negative number, say 1 minus 4. You have entered an invalid age. It will not enter in the if part and move directly to the else part. Let's one more time execute this program. Enter your age, so say 11. You are not eligible for voting. As you can see, it first checked that age is greater than equal to 0, yes, and then check whether age is greater than equal to 18 or not. So it is not greater than 18, so we have printed you are not eligible for voting. So let's close it. Now as you can see in the program, each time we construct a nested if else, we add this indentation. So to reduce the indentation in the program, there is one more way of writing the above program using the else if clause. The else if clause, the syntax of the else if clause is if condition do this, else if condition do this, else do this. Now we can add multiple else if in between, and in this case every else is associated to the previous if. Okay, and the last else block will execute only when all the conditions are failed, and even in the else if ladder, this last else is optional. So let's learn another way for writing the previous program. Now in this program, let's remove this logic of the nested if else here. Now in the first condition, we'll ask if age is less than 0. If this condition comes to be true, we'll print you have entered an invalid age. You have entered an invalid age. Okay. First, we'll ask this condition only. Age is less than 0. If this condition is satisfied, then the other conditions are not checked. And so, there is no need to check whether the age is eligible for voting or not afterwards. Then we'll write else if age is less than equal to 18. Then we'll print you are not eligible for voting. You are not eligible for voting. And in the end, else, the only condition left is age is greater than 18. We'll write not equal to age is less than 18. Else, age is greater than equal to 18, we'll print you are eligible for voting. Okay. Return 0 and that's it. Let's build and execute this program. I forgot to write semicolon over here. Now again, let's build and execute this program. Enter your age. Again, let's say a negative number -5. You have entered an invalid age. It's just go through the first if condition and not check the another condition for eligible for vote or not. Now let's move to the last topic of the tutorial. Conditional operators. The operator which form a kind of foreshortened if then else. They are also called ternary operators because it takes 3 arguments. The general form of conditional operator is expression 1, question mark, expression 2, colon, expression 3. In this, the question mark and end are the conditional operators. This form of the conditional operator says that if the expression 1 comes out to be true, then it will evaluate the expression 2. Else, if the condition comes out to be false, then it will evaluate expression 3. Okay, so let's understand this concept with a simple example. Write a program to check whether a number is divisible by 28 or not. So we'll just write the main code to understand this conditional operators concept. Int a, char c, printf, enter a number and scanf %d ampersand a. Now we will use the conditional operators over here. C is equal to. Now we will ask if a modulus 28 is equal to 0. We are writing over one expression which is asking that is a is divisible by 28 or not. Then we'll apply a conditional operator question mark. If this condition comes to be true, then the value in the C should be y. Else this colon is equivalent to else, then we'll write n. And then we'll print %c that whether a number is divisible by 28 or not. So in this program we have asked that if a is divisible by 28 or not. If it is divisible by 28, it will return y, else it will return n. So let's build and execute our code. Enter a number, say 56, okay? And yes, 28 into 2 equal to 56. So yes, it is divisible by 28. So the value is y. We can also write our code like this. By removing the printf, we can directly print over here only printf y, else printf n. And this will also work same. So let's build and run it and check. We forget to write one bracket over here. So let's build and run it. Enter a number, say 34. This time I am not writing divisible by 28 number. And the answer is n. So let's close it. That it is not necessary to write over here only number. We can also write the functions over here too. Now there is one more point to be noted about the conditional operator, that it can be nested too. For example, let's move back to our eligible age program. Now in this program, if we rewrite our program with the help of conditional operator, then how we will do that? First, let's remove this. Now with the conditional operator, we'll rewrite our code with this as if age is greater than 0. If these conditions come to be true, again we'll further check if age is greater than equal to 18. If this conditions is true, we'll print you are eligible for voting. And if this condition comes to be false, then we'll print you are not eligible for voting. Okay. And if we have written over there that if age is greater than 0. Now we'll see if age is less than 0, then we'll print that you have entered an invalid age. Invalid age. In this, we use nested conditional operators. That if age is greater than 0, then again we have used the nested conditional operator that if age is greater than 18, print you are eligible for voting, else print you are not eligible for voting. And then else we have printing you have entered an invalid age. So let's build and execute it. Enter your age, let's say 50. You are eligible for voting and it's working correctly. So till now we have learned 3 concepts of writing the same program using IfElse, nested IfElse and conditional operators. So that's all for today's tutorial. In the next video, we'll again understand few programs based on the nested IfElse. Until then, keep practicing, and if you found any queries, you can either comment in the comment box or mail us at nurtuware@gmail.com. Do follow our channel Nursery to Varsity on all our social media handlers. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and do not forget to press the bell icon. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.